G'day, brothers. Japanese people are a completely different animal to us Caucasians. Completely different. And it frustrates me sometimes, but when I realise the things that are frustrating me are actually why Aoi's culture has done so much better. Japan had no mandatory lockdowns, yet they got on top of COVID way better than the likes of Germany. As of January this year, was it?
Mm-hmm.
January this year, what was the number of deaths in Germany?
27,000
27,000
from 83 million.
from 83 million. 27,000 from 83 million. What was it in Japan?
2,700.
2,700 out of how many people?
126 million.
Isn't that interesting? And Germany had lockdowns. I've got friends in Germany that locked down the whole time, and still it was rampant. So why have the Japanese done so much better than us?
So German lockdown is the same as here, level 4.
Yep. I've been talking to Germans. They've been locked down quite a bit. They've stopped testing in Germany a while ago now because COVID's pretty much everywhere. But the point being is, why have the Japanese done so much better? And today, their numbers are right down low again, aren't they? They did have a spike when COVID came through, but much lower deaths. So we've been talking about this, and it's really interesting, some of the things that are different about Japanese. No social kissing. In fact, no kissing ever. We bow to each other, we don't kiss. Say good morning. But
And
that's
always they have a distance.
always have distance. Yeah, I can never get close to it. There's one reason. These are things we're throwing around. They're possibly not the main reason. We'll go through them all. No handshaking in Japan, or minimal handshaking.
Yeah, minimum, yeah.
Everybody that comes to my house gets a handshake. It's not the same in your country.
I only remember at the office, in the company, people
Yes.
first met, but I don't think second will do.
Yes.
And we don't do it as the friends.
Yes.
I don't think so.
No, you don't.
Don't touch.
Don't touch. Yeah, don't touch. It's crazy having a girlfriend you're not allowed to touch. I haven't touched her for years. So what else do they do? Well, they take their shoes off before they go inside.
100%.
100% everywhere. Cleanliness in Japan is so important. Everybody wipes everything down all the time. But another thing that they did long before this mandatory mask, actually mask wearing is not mandatory in New Zealand, it's suggested, I think, legally, but everybody in Japan wears masks. Is that right? Or a lot?
Yeah.
So there's some of the things, but another interesting thing is at school, they all get inoculated against tuberculosis and a few other things. And what's the name of that injection?
BCG.
BCG.
I think from baby they will.
From baby. And that appears to have some
protection
with COVID. So that's another interesting thing. I like the sound of that. So what else are some of the other things that are going on in your country that also, because you've got to remember, they don't have lockdown.
We always learn from the kindergarten.
Mm-hmm. Wash hands.
You wash hand when come home.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's almost normal things for everyone.
Yeah.
And every mom told them and come back from school.
Wash hands.
It's I don't know. It's many things. Is maybe we already have it. But it's your country's new to having like masks never in your life, but we do already. So maybe not so hard to, even didn't have the rules.
Yeah. I don't like the non-social kissing and the fact of no kissing and no...
Save your life.
Save my life, yeah. But when I think about it, it's probably... Those sorts of habits have probably saved your people a lot because their death rate's way down. I thought I would share that with you on the Bro Check channel because Aoi is Japanese. She reads the Japanese news all the time. She knows what's going on, and they don't have mandatory lockdowns, which we've had in New Zealand, I can understand why we have them, but if your country could do it smarter, with more freedoms, it would be a lot better. Japan's industry and their GDP and their exports and imports and their business overall has suffered because of COVID. That would have a lot to do, I guess, with trading partners, perhaps, and less. So they have suffered, but their people haven't suffered so much. The Japanese people also are very law-abiding, and they're very respectful. We saw this with the tsunami that you had in your country, and how everybody was so caring. They weren't squashing each other to get away. They were looking out for each other, and they bounced back so much better than other countries that have had mass terrible things happen. They work together as a team. And I think also with the vaccine taking, I think the Japanese people have not put their foot down. They were vaccinated quicker, were they? We don't know. We're just guessing. I think you find that they're more law-abiding. They weren't certainly doing mass protests, were they? Because there was no lockdowns to protest. They weren't creating these super spreader events. So the other thing too could also be considered is they do have a history of similar type viruses in Japan, which they could have some natural immunity to. I see now that bird flu has got away in Japan again, and they're having to destroy all those chickens on one poultry farm. So you kind of have a history of that sort of respiratory system type disease. These are only theories, and we don't know, and we just going off. But the statistics we've given you about, say, Germany versus Japan, and Japan has no mandatory lockdowns, whereas Germany did. Yet Japan's doing better. There's a true fact, and you can research that yourself. So we're not saying anything that's not science.
No.
The rest is just pure speculation as to why Japan's doing so well. But I think there's something in that. I really wish they'd changed their social kissing thing. You know that song? Always have to steal my kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. That's me and her. Anyway, that was a very short video on why we feel that Japan has done so well with no mandatory lockdowns. Check on a brother or check on a sister during these hard times, and we'll see you in the next video.